forgot who the fuck I am, where the fuck I come from. Are they about to remember me? They about to know me.
So when it comes to Raquel, in season 1 she was in a position where she wasn't able to fully invest her time and effort into her organization because she was too busy cleaning up Kanan's mess, and it was a lot of mess. But that changed ever since Kanan was sent away. It looks as if she's now been able to focus on the game and expand because she's not constantly looking over her shoulder and worrying about Kanan. So for Rock, it was always about building her kingdom and sitting on the throne of queens. And at times in season 2, I think she's a character who's gonna scare us. Scare us in a good way and bad way. The good being how well Patina Miller bodies the role of Raquel and gives us another dominant performance, but also bad because I think she's gonna go one step further and is genuinely gonna make us think, what kind of mother is she? And the trailer even gives us a glimpse of Rock having Kanan helping bury a body. And just to give some background and context to this is what Patina Miller had to say on Rock for season 2. My stance remains the same. Rock is calculating but impulsive when it comes to her child. You see this moment in a man's world, not standing down, but also trying to mother a 15-year-old boy who thinks he knows everything. He puts himself in this position to influence her work, and everything gets thrown out of the whack, and she just can't focus on the price. She has to focus on her son, which is the most important thing at the end of the day. I just understand her, however questionable her actions may be. While there are violent moments, it's lovely to see an ambitious woman in all her glory, and bad things too. It makes her well-rounded, but also flawed and human, and that's hard to come by. So again, linking this back to the beginning, where she said she had to focus on her son, this is the reason why she got rid of him, to protect him, and also further her own interest, because she can't focus on building her organization, while Kanan keeps making mistake after mistake. For example, dropping dozens of bodies in the streets after making a bad batch or product. And the fact is, when it comes to Rock, she definitely acts selfishly, and at times, she's also willing to risk her own kid's safety to make things happen. And as we all know, Detective Howard is a secret Rock has been keeping from Kanan for all these years, and she wasn't afraid to use Kanan even if it meant putting him in harm's way. But it is difficult for Rock when you've got a kid in Kanan who starts making grown man's decision in a grown man's world, because even though she's someone who will always protect Kanan, he doesn't help himself. For example, killing Buck 20 with D-Wiz, which had so many repercussions from D-Wiz's death to igniting a war with Unique, but Kanan wanted to be in the game.
You wanted to be in it? You in it.
So as we enter season 2, we've got Rock telling Kanan he needs to know what he wants. But in my character breakdown with Kanan, I analysed how Kanan will probably show a number of layers based on what we saw in the trailer. He's still a kid at heart, and we're gonna see both sides to Kanan, this kid, and also someone who wants to enter the game. But with Raquel, she doesn't have two sides. She's cold, ruthless, and unforgiving because she knows that as a woman in the streets, she needs to take what's hers. And also, if she wants to expand, it's also going to come with a cost, because based on the synopsis, she's going to start to lose her grip on Kanan. He's even more uncertain of his past, and Kanan will start to search for the truth. Now, we also learn she's making some big moves into hostile mafia territory, which we are going to come to in just a moment. But sticking with her relationship with Kanan, Raquel has a big problem on her hands, because where she manipulated Kanan into killing his own father, she believes Kanan actually killed him, so she's gonna be in for one hell of a surprise when she finds out Howard is alive. Now this poses a threat to Raquel in a few ways. 1. Howard is Kanan's father, and once this truth is revealed, it's gonna destroy any sort of trust that Kanan has in Rock. And 2. Howard will pose a threat to Raquel's expansion in the game, especially because he knows it was Rock who manipulated Kanan, so he really is in this position of power, where he holds the fate of Kanan in his hands.
You don't want to do that, son. Rock is setting you up.
So Detective Howard holds a lot of power, and I'm sure we can all be certain Kanan won't be the name coming out of his mouth when Beck asks him who pulled the trigger, because he still needs Kanan for his bone marrow transplant. But we do need to consider another perspective. It was revealed to the police force he needs a transplant, so could they find a match without Kanan? Because if they do, Raquel's definitely in trouble, because not only will Howard no longer need Kanan for the transplant, but he can fuck up a lot of shit for Rock, including her relationship with Kanan. And Sasha Penn, the writer of Raising Kanan, echoed this, and he said, "What fans can expect is the relationship between Rock and Kanan really does become increasingly complicated. As you can imagine, in season 2 the stakes just get even higher in every single possible way. Kanan starts to realize stuff about his mom and himself, and Detective Howard increasingly becomes a player in the family drama. So I think we're in for a lot of drama, more lies, and manipulation when it comes to this situation between Raquel, Kanan, and Detective Howard. And Howard isn't the only one who's going to be gunning for Rock, so will Unique, because how I mentioned Kanan had ample amounts of time to reflect on the events of season 1. The same goes for Unique. He's in jail just thinking and plotting how not only is he going to recover his business, but also how he's going to get revenge on Rock, because he made it abundantly clear after Buck 20's death. As a leader, he had to bring something back for Buck's death, otherwise you start to get questioned by your soldiers. So when Unique gets out, not if, when, because I think it's going to happen pretty early on in the season. This is going to shake things up majorly. But Raquel's the one who's got all the power and control. She's got the connect, she's got the corners, and now she's expanding. And not only is she expanding, but she's got Unique tangled up with the one thing his connect, Dean, hates: law enforcement. Dean Tippett is someone who likes being low-key, but the problem is, Rock has fucked with his business not once, but twice. First when she gave up Unique's re-up, and second, when she had Unique arrested. So not only will Unique be plotting revenge, but he may just have the backing of Dean, and he is someone who is listed to be returning in season 2. So let's see what comes from the silent but violent Dean. But regardless of Raquel creating so many enemies, she doesn't care about rules. She's shown it before with Unique, telling him Hypo's deals that he had in place weren't her deals. She's also shown it with Dean, and now she's stepping into hostile mafia territory. So this is Sal Buscemi who confronts Rock, and he's another to add to a long list of enemies for Raquel. But not only will she be creating problems with the Italian mafia, this will in turn create more problems with Lulu. Now Lou is someone who wants out of the game, and I think we're going to see him focus more on his music in season 2. But will Rock allow him to walk away? I really don't think so. So where they may hash things out at the dinner table and put things aside, I think it's going to be very short-lived. Now with Marvin, these two have never seen eye to eye, especially because Marvin used to run the Thomas organization until Rock took over. There was also him using his own product, which ended up with him being behind bars, and Duke moving in with Rock, which is how Duke and Raquel became really close. So where we talk about Kanan picking up traits from Rock, we can say the same about Jukebox, because she moved into Kanan's room after her bust up with Marvin. So let's see what comes from Duke and Raquel. Now when it comes to Raquel's relationship with Symphony, this was something she was actually in two minds with at first, because she knows what happens when you get complacent in this game. But towards the end of season 1, we saw how she needed him when Lou was recovering and Marvin was arrested. So I think this is someone who started off as someone who Rock could escape with and somewhat live a double life, similarly to how Ghost did with Angela and how Tariq did with Lauren. But I think now that Symphony has helped Rock with Kanan, we're gonna see their relationship evolve, and evolve to the point where he'll probably end up in the game helping her, because Kanan made a point of how Symphony's got a mind they can use, and I think Raquel knows this. And we also know he's good with Kanan, but where he said Kanan's scared in the trailer, Rock doesn't take this too well, because nobody gets bitten between her and her son. So let's see how far and how much this relationship evolves. But that's a breakdown of where we currently are with Rock, based on what happened in season 1, and where her character is heading in season 2, based on the synopsis, quotes, and the teasers and trailers. So drop all your thoughts down below on all things Raquel, and of course if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.